Where's the nearest post office, please?
Prosím vás, kde je nejbližší pošta?
Kdy byl postaven v roce 2010 a zprovozněn Pražský okruh a bohužel od té doby některé nájezdy nejsou zprovozněny. Ten nejpalčivější je dole v Komořanech a ten druhý, který občany trápí o to více, že...
Born in 1924, so you were here selling at the market in around 1934? Yeah. You used to sell, what did you sell here?
Cucumbers and tomatoes.
And tomatoes at the Pike Place Market?
Yeah. What was a good day? $50? Oh, I don't know what. I just sold.
Thinking about how I was going to expand the second half of my project, I started thinking about the ways that language and culture are really intimately woven together, and how much of our culture shows up in our language, and how much our language really speaks to these unique aspects of our culture that don't translate immediately into other languages. This relates to my experience trying to get in touch with my Japanese cultural heritage. I'm Hapa, half Japanese, Yonsei, fourth generation in the United States. My grandparents, who you saw earlier in the video, were sent to the internment camps during World War II. And as a result, when they left the camps, they jettisoned their Japanese language. They shoved as much of their culture under the rug as possible in an attempt to rapidly assimilate to white American mainstream culture and be respected and seen as Americans. As an adult, coming back and trying to get back in touch with that half of my family, I recognize what a roadblock it is to not have access to that language, to not be able to speak, for instance, to relatives I still have in Japan, or to travel through Japan, through the places that my family's from, and be able to communicate readily with the people around me. In thinking about my experience living overseas and running a business in the Czech Republic for 2 years and living outside of my language and culture, I think about also how much language really shaped my personal identity. I think about my sense of humor as one example. Sense of humor felt like a complex linguistic skill. Being able to understand and play with words enough to make them funny felt like a higher level of language. Not being able to share that and communicate that effectively with my new peers left me feeling divorced from this aspect of my own personality. And I started to realize how much language and culture also shaped me. When I think about my time up in remote and rural Alaska, I'm thinking about my friends specifically who are actively, desperately trying to save their languages and preserve them, and along with them, all of the cultural knowledge that's embedded inside of them. I had a conversation with my friend Jack one time. He's Yupik. I asked him about an idiom that I had heard about Eskimos knowing 100 different words for snow. My friend Jack, who's Yupik, said, no, we don't. We don't have 100 different words for snow. There are well over 100 different types of snow, and I'm sorry if your language does not adequately express them all. And then we started talking about something that I found fascinating, was the importance of being able to delineate between wet snow and heavy snow and snow that blows across other snow, different wind patterns in the snow, in order to navigate successfully from point A to point B. There is no roads for most of rural Alaska. So you can drive up to Fairbanks and that's it. The rest of it you have to travel by snow machine, dog sled, or airplane. If you're traveling over land and there's nothing around you but snow, you better be able to tell the difference or you're never going to make it to where you're going. And that may be a different village, that may be a hunting ground where you're going to be able to catch the food that you need to eat this year. So the information that's embedded inside of that language is vital, not just for cultural identity, but sheerly for survival. In thinking forward to future classrooms, I really want to make sure that I don't accidentally dehumanize my students by getting so caught up in helping them navigate the language of the dominant culture that I forget to view them as people, as fully actualized, realized human beings with rich and complex stories. I also want to view them as the cultural assets that they are, knowing that inside the languages that they speak, there are keys to perspectives on the world that I haven't even begun to understand. All right, I think that's everything. Dekwi vam, that's Czech. Arigato, Japanese. Kayana, that's Yupik. Ganalchish, Inupiaq. Thank you. I've really enjoyed reading all of your stories, and I can't wait to see all of your projects.